Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Saw a couple of Jeff Gray videos. The most recent one I saw was outrageous. Church calls the cops on Jeff for holding a sign saying "Pray for the homeless" out in front of their church service. Okay, whatever. I don't really understand why auditors feel a need to audit private businesses and churches and things like that. I know Nasty Nate likes to do that too. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, the church can't violate your First Amendment rights. At worst, they can call the police. It just doesn't, okay. But I guess it's your First Amendment right to do it, so congratulations. I wasn't particularly shocked or outraged. I could kind of understand why the church would want that spot kind of reserved for their person who was going to be directing traffic and welcoming traffic into the school that was being rented by the church for its Sunday services, instead of having Jeff out there. I could see why the church would want that, but I also agree that Jeff had a constitutional right to be where he was. So congratulations. You found that evil church. The other one is a little less lopsided in favor of Jeff Gray. And that one is Mr. Gray was standing in the walkway leading up to a library in St. Johns County. The library has a policy. They have a written policy. You can check it out on their website against solicitors and protesters being within 15 feet of the door. I think it was protesters. I remember solicitors. Maybe it's my memory. I looked this up a few days ago. And I probably should double check it, but I'm not going to. So I'll let my fact checkers fact check me. But I am certain that they did have no soliciting within 15 feet of the door. And so the question becomes, was Jeff Gray soliciting? And the answer to that question is maybe. I mean, he was asking people to do something, and that's pretty much the definition of soliciting. It doesn't have to do just with soliciting money for sex as a prostitute. That's the crime of solicitation. But soliciting is basically just asking someone for something. So you can solicit signatures. When people are like, hey, sign the recall petition for Gavin Newsom. And what they're doing is they're soliciting signatures. They're asking you to sign. So was he asking people to pray for the homeless? Was that solicitation? Well, that is a great question that really could be answered either way. And it would be interesting if he does litigate it, and I haven't really seen him show too much interest in litigation, so I don't think he's going to, but it would be interesting if he did litigate it, what the answer would be. Was he soliciting? Or does the library have a completely alternative rationale for their trespass, which would also, again, be interesting. But with the library, with trespassing him from the library, that goes back to they call themselves a limited public forum. They allow certain forms of speech there, and that makes sense. Which means that the speech they don't allow goes through a non-public forum style analysis, and that non-public forum style analysis requires them to have a legitimate reason, and not having people block the front entrance is a pretty legitimate reason. Is there, not allowing solicitation right at the front door is a pretty legitimate reason. Is there rule rationally related to that legitimate reason, yeah, making them stand back at least 15 feet, not allowing more than one person to solicit signatures for any given cause at any given time. You know, it adds up to them not wanting their entranceway to be blocked. Is it content and viewpoint neutral? Yeah. They don't care. They don't care what you're soliciting for. They just don't want you to solicit within 15 feet. So it's pretty content neutral. It's pretty viewpoint neutral. You don't have to see what's on the sign in order to enforce the rule. So the real question of fact there is whether or not Jeff Gray was soliciting. And like I said, it could go either way. I can see arguments for it and against it, and I don't know which way a court would go on it. So it'd be interesting to see if he litigated it. I doubt he will. But anyway, remember, Adderley versus Florida does allow a government to own and operate a business or a facility or a thing like a private owner of property, and it does allow them to trespass people from it. And it's a relatively easy test for the government to trespass people from a library or a jail property, I guess I should say, not inside jail. An inmate trying to get trespassed from the jail would be pretty fucking hilarious. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.